Aditi, a tree lover from Mumbai, and today I'm extremely excited because today I'm in the august company of someone who's extremely special in the world of trees, someone who's devoted over 60 years of his life to nature under trees. If you're a student from Mumbai, a botany student from Mumbai, you probably would know him very well by now. He's none other than the celebrated teacher, Dr. C.S. Lattoo from the Institute of Science, Department of Botany. Hello, Doctor.
Hello.
So happy to have you here. Being a tree lover, I was totally amazed by these beautiful creatures called trees. And they give you so much of joy, they give you oxygen, they give birds places to live, and they have so many multiple benefits. So one day I signed up for a tree walk with Dr. Lattoo just to find out and discover a little more about them. That one tree walk completely opened my eyes to different aspects of trees which I had no idea about before. Every tree came alive in front of me. Every tree had its own traits, its own personality. It had its own benefits for all of us. That was many years ago, but you remember the tree walk?
Yeah, definitely I remember.
It was in Muktanan Garden.
Muktanan Garden.
And it was.
We are part of the participants.
Yes, I think I was asking the most questions because I was so excited. That one tree walk completely opened my eyes to different aspects of trees which I had no idea about before. Every tree came alive in front of me. Every tree had its own traits, its own personality. It had its own benefits for all of us. It was giving us something unique of its own, to contributing in its own way to the world. So I'm really was so excited to know about this. And all this together contributed to this term called biodiversity. Of course, I would really like to know more about it with Doctor because he is an absolute encyclopedia on this term. So first of all, Doctor, can we first of all understand what is biodiversity?
Sure. Before you understand the biodiversity, we'll have to understand one more word before we go to biodiversity, and that is biosphere. The presence of biosphere around the Earth makes it a very important and unique planet on the entire solar system. You can define the biosphere as you can say the part of the earth in which the life exists. See, when we say about the biosphere, it also includes the ecological processes and the organic evolution which is responsible for the entire change. Now, and most important, when you said about the biodiversity, uh, biodiversity is the most important component of biosphere, and this is a existence of biodiversity is a as you say, when we talk about the vastness of the entire thing, you can say this biosphere is a very narrow strip sandwiched between lithosphere down and atmosphere on the top, which almost say around 1,000 meter uh, in size.
Said the most important ingredient of biosphere is biodiversity.
Yes.
So tell us about biodiversity. What is
You know,
biodiversity?
the great variety of living organisms, which includes plants, animals, and microbes, in ecosystems in which they live. This is called as a biodiversity, and you'll find that this biodiversity, if you compare it, the most of the biodiversity of the world is found in the 70% of the biodiversity of the world is found in the tropical areas of the world, which which counts about 10% of the global biodiversity. For example, from the rainforest, it has been recorded by workers that one single tree inhabits about 43 species of ant on it. This shows the extent of biodiversity which exists in the rainforest and in the tropical areas.
That is so amazing, Doctor.
In this case, you will find that the polar region are comparatively poor because they have a very monotonous climatic conditions, which normally do not exist in the tropical area. We have a variety in the soil, in the climatic conditions, and so many other aspects.
So can you give me the three most important aspects for biodiversity to thrive?
You know, if you have moved in our own country, from north to south and east to west, you will find there is a tremendous variations as far as the soil is concerned, as far as the climate is concerned, as far as the other edaphic factors are concerned, and this adds to the biodiversity of our own country. We'll find, and we have a great advantage of the location of our country, that is located in such an area which is a junction of three reams, the union of three reams. One is, it is called Indo-Malayan, which is the richest source of biodiversity in the world. Then we have Eurasian and Afro-tropical countries. And because of this, we have the maximum biodiversity country. You know, as far as the biodiversity counting is concerned, there are almost 12 countries in the world which are known for their biodiversity or mega biodiversity. India is one of them.
I see.
And when we talk about the India, again in the India itself, we have two hotspots. That is the Western Ghat on the western side and the Northeast region, which exhibits the maximum biodiversity in the country.
Doctor, when I came for the tree walk, I realized how every tree has its own benefits for humans as well as different species of birds, of animals, of insects. I understood about how neem is so important, how the urgent tree gives us benefits for the heart, and so many different benefits and purposes of every tree species. So that I at least understood is the concept of conserving biodiversity, of how every tree and plant gives you some benefit and has its own purpose in
Correct.
in
Yeah, right.
nature and for life to thrive. So, but I want to understand from you basically and explore more. What is this whole importance of biodiversity? Why has this whole topic of conservation of biodiversity gained so much importance in today's world?
See, actually, this word came into prominence after the mass killing of the animals in the name of sports.
Okay.
And because of that, certain animals got extinct. They gone forever. We couldn't see them for later on. So this was the beginning where the importance of biodiversity was realized.
I think one of the most important examples and common examples is the dodo.
Yeah, I know. I will come to that later on.
As I see it, biodiversity is actually wealth because every species is a creation in its own right.
Correct.
Brings something of value in its own way to the world.
Yeah.
And if you lose that species, you lose entire value chain that species brings with it. But of course, doctor, can you enlighten us more?
Yeah, mass extinction of species was a very important issue which was concerned with the loss of biodiversity. And when we talk about the loss of biodiversity, it can be taken into two ways: the direct loss and the indirect loss. When you say the direct loss, you can take the example of hunting and collection. Now I will give you the example as far as the hunting is concerned. You know, in old days, hunting was supposed to be a sport.
Correct.
And a tremendous hunting in the name of sports, we lost some animals which were, when we talk about the example of hunting, the excessive hunting in the name of game or say sports was the reason of losing certain animals. A very great example of that you can find the loss of Asian cheetah, which we have lost.
Absolutely.
And once it is lost, it is very difficult to create. Now the technology has developed, but since even then, the loss in nature, once lost, is lost forever. The second example is the collection. As far as the collection is concerned, I will give you a very nice example. The students of botany, they were supposed to collect the plant for their presenting at the time of examination. The collection used to be so high that sometimes the plants were actually
Left with very little.
the places were deserted by collection of the plants, and it was realized later on. So this problem was solved by two ways. Certain places where the collection they used to allow, they have stopped students to collect the plant.
Can you give me an example?
I will give the example like if you go to now Uti, you cannot collect the plants as per your wish. They give only few plants to the college or the institution itself. Individual student cannot collect.
That's very
The second
sensible.
example, which is very important, the Pachmadi, which is a hill station in Madhya Pradesh, it's a paradise as far as the student of botany are concerned. The same thing happened there. People used to bring a lot of material from there. The one which is not useful, they used to throw. And that was the problem, that excess of material was collected from forest. Now they have declared the entire plateau or the entire hill of Pachmadi as a as a conservatory where you cannot collect anything, and only you can go and see the thing. Similarly, I will give you the example.
That's very nice.
University of Mumbai, they have also not insisting students to submit the plant material which was called as a herbarium and all that. That is another way by which we can save the plants.
So, Doctor, you said something very interesting about how colleges are now, and even the government is now controlling the amount of, extraction from nature and plucking from nature. But of course, botany students need to learn, and if they have to collect these species and understand them closely, then they will have to.
It's a very good point.
So what?
But since we have realized the importance of biodiversity, we have find out the alternatives also. Instead of collecting the plants and submitting for examination, we nowadays ask the student to take the photograph. Now, taking photograph has become very easy because with the help of mobiles, which everyone has nowadays.
I'm sure they love doing that.
And we take the photograph, and instead of submitting the plants, we submit the report which we actually visit. Right? Make a write-up of your report, what you have seen, how it was existing, what were the situations over there where the plant was existing, whether it was a aquatic situation, whether it was a big tree, whether it was a forest, whether it was a desert. All such things can be seen in the photograph. That makes it more valuable.
And that makes so much more sense. And
Yeah,
you just
that's
go and
true,
pluck
that's
and then
true.
just
Yeah.
submit. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been a really unique and wonderful video with Dr. Lattoo, and he's given us so many amazing insights on biodiversity. So tell us how you like the video in the comments below, and of course subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for future notification. For more information on biodiversity, please find links in the description box below.